Calling the meeting to order. Let's begin with the roll call.
Jana Elliott. Here. Kyle Niederman.
Here.
Lisa Ramon.
Here.
John Maston.
Here.
Eric Moran.
Here. Let's take a moment of silent prayer or private reflection. Would you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next up, we have review and accept the agenda for the session. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
I'll second.
Lisa Ramon.
Yes.
John Maston.
Yes.
Jana Elliott.
Yes.
Kyle Niederman.
Yes.
Eric Moran.
Yes. Next up, we have the consent agenda. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I'll move we approve the consent agenda as presented.
I'll second.
John Maston.
Yes.
Jana Elliott.
Yes.
Kyle Niederman.
Yes.
Lisa Ramon.
Yes.
Eric Moran.
Yes. So now we move on to our action items. So action item 4.1, Superintendent Recommendation for Principal of Jamaica Elementary.
Thank you, Mr. President, members of the board. I just want to share that we are making two recommendations tonight, and these are two of the most difficult recommendations that we've made in a long time for good reasons. We had some amazing candidates, and our committees worked really hard to make those decisions. We had to go to second rounds, and we are very pleased to and make these two recommendations tonight. And I am very thankful for everyone's work that supported this process. So tonight I am pleased to recommend Ms. Jennifer Black as the next principal of Jamaica Elementary School, where she is excited to lead the next generation of Crocs. Ms. Black holds a bachelor's degree in elementary education with a minor in child psychology. She also holds a master's degree from Western Governors University in educational leadership. Prior to pursuing her passion in teaching, Ms. Black worked in the insurance industry for 13 years, where she learned valuable skills in business management, including recruiting, hiring, and training new staff, as well as advertising and promoting the business. In 2004, she transitioned to teach fourth grade at Starline Elementary School, where she taught for the next 13 years in grades 4 through 6, specializing in mathematics. During her time at Starline, Ms. Black was a professional development trainer, grade level lead, student data lead, and District 301 committee representative. In 2017, Ms. Black decided to stretch her skills and took her expertise to Thunderbolt Middle School, where she served as a mentor to new teachers, department chair, educational tour club advisor, and was named Thunderbolt's 2018 Teacher of the Year. Ms. Black is currently serving as the assistant principal at Thunderbolt, where she oversees 20 certified staff members, supporting them with best instructional practices and classroom management. She also oversees all school safety operations, develops before and after school supervision schedules, and handles the majority of student discipline. In addition to these duties, she evaluates 12 classified staff members, providing support for the many aspects of their jobs. As the athletic director, Ms. Black completes all scheduling and staffing for sporting events and works to manage the budget while ensuring inventory is adequate for each season. Ms. Black is highly skilled in coaching, mentoring, streamlining procedures, and upholding policies to ensure staff and students are successful. Ms. Black is the proud mother of 3 and devotes her spare time to supporting her now grown children in pursuing their dreams, just as she has done for so many others. Her passion for our youth can be seen in all she does and has done to serve the students of LHUSD. Prior to becoming a teacher, Ms. Black decided to give back to our community in the year 2000 when she became a foster parent. She loved, nurtured, and supported more than 40 foster children ages 10 and under. Ms. Black's passion for the children of Lake Havasu City and commitment to focused, positive leadership will make her a great addition to the Jamaica Elementary School family.
Any discussion or a motion?
I move that we accept the recommendation for Jamaica's principal.
I'll second.
And I just want to say, I was on the hiring committee. It was a hard choice, but for a good reason, just like Dr. Stone said. It was very nice to have such qualified candidates to choose from, and I was very happy that things worked out the way they did.
Archana Aliyar,
Yes.
Kyle Niederman,
Yes.
Lisa Roman,
Yes.
John Maston,
Yes.
Eric Moran.
Yes. Let's take a moment to congratulate. Let's move on to 4.2, Superintendent Recommendation for the Principal of Nautilus Elementary.
Mr. President, members of the board, I am pleased to recommend Mrs. Shannon Williams as the next principal of Nautilus Elementary. Mrs. Williams holds a bachelor's in elementary education with an emphasis in early childhood. She also holds 2 master's degrees from Grand Canyon University, one in education and the other in educational leadership. Mrs. Williams has a broad and extensive career in education. In 1992, Mrs. Williams started her career in LHUSD, teaching kindergarten at Nautilus Elementary for 10 years before accepting the principal position at Calvary Christian Academy, serving students from preschool to 8th grade. During her 6 years as principal of CCA, she increased student enrollment and managed all aspects of running the school, from budgets and facilities to staffing and evaluations to community engagement. Mrs. Williams returned to the district to teach 5th grade general education and 5th grade gifted and talented at Starline Elementary, during which time she completed her administrative practicum. She has also taught foundation education courses at Mojave Community College and Arizona State University. Mrs. Williams is currently serving as an assistant principal at Lake Havasu High School, where she oversees the English and special education departments, supporting best instructional practices, and maintains the coordination of all activities within the library and student bookstore. She also oversees all school safety operations and student activities and clubs. She is well versed in the policies and procedures required to effectively run large events and projects. Mrs. Williams also brought a staff recognition program to LHHS to celebrate all the positive things staff are doing on campus. In addition, this year she has championed positive behavior intervention and supports, leading a committee of staff through the training process to shift to a more positive approach to addressing student behavior needs in the upcoming school year. When Mrs. Williams isn't supporting one of the many after-school events, she can be found spending time with her family, her husband Dave, son Caleb, daughter Keely, and grandson Ezra. Mrs. Williams is passionate about education in our public schools, as she has seen how it has benefited both of her children and the many children she has served over the past 30 years. Her enthusiasm for serving students and staff will support her transition to Nautilus, where we know she will continue to support and grow the many great things that are already happening.
Any discussion or a motion?
I move to approve the item.
I second. Kyle Niederman,
Yes.
Lisa Roman,
Yes.
John Maston,
Yes.
Archana Aliyar,
Yes.
Eric Moran.
Yes. Let's take a moment to congratulate. I just wanted to say, too, I was part of one of the committees, and both of these candidates, what really is outstanding is their ties to the community. This is something that's going to be, I think, a real positive for both of the schools, and I think we're lucky to have them both. We are up next, 4.3, Business Services, Allo Arizona Land Lease Agreements.
Thank you, Mr. President, members of the board. Allo Arizona LLC has made a request to lease land owned by Lake Havasu Unified School District as described in Exhibit A of each lease for an initial term of 10 years beginning May 2022, with an option to renew the lease for two additional 10-year terms. The sites proposed for use are 3150 Starline Drive and 2875 Havasupai Boulevard. The company will use the proposed sites for a central office and/or data bunker, which is a building for utilities, computers, and a generator using electricity, but without temporary or permanent occupancy. The payment to the Lake Havasu Unified School District will be $500 per month per contract.
Any discussion?
Yes. Do we have any concerns about fat beam in this?
I'm sorry, concerns about what?
Do we have any concerns with our fat beam contract with this? Because we've got lines coming in and out of our school district's buildings now, and it's fat beam that does that.
No, so this is this has no there's no contract with connectivity to our sites and schools. This is simply them using our property and leasing a portion of our property so that they can set up their operations, but it doesn't have, there's no impact as to service directly to each of our school sites.
We have another fiber optic operator in the schools already.
Correct. Yeah, they are using these locations to improve their services throughout the community.
And it's just at both school sites, it's just a small area. I think it's 360 square feet on both
Correct.
Havasupai and Starline. Okay. For Starline, I'm a little more familiar with Starline. It's where, I'm trying to picture where it is though. It's near the drop off.
So it's in, yes, it's in that far corner of the property down near the drop off. And then at Havasupai, it's it's off of Havasupai Boulevard, right where the City Parks and Rec little parking lot is. The City Parks, there's a little, small little, like a restroom facility, a little building right there. It's just to the west of that building.
Any reason to believe that this will be disruptive for students with people coming and going from the property?
There's an ALLO rep here, but the way that it's going to be built, it'll be, it's proposed that there'll be concrete CMU walls around it, so it'll be self-contained. There'll be a separate entrance and access point from either Caravel at Starline or Havasupai Boulevard over near Havasupai Elementary.
Any more discussion or motion?
I'll move to approve. I've forgotten what number it was. Is it 4.3?
4.3.
I'll make a motion to approve 4.3.
I second. Lisa Roman,
Yes.
John Maston,
No.
Archana Alliar,
Yes.
Kyle Niederman,
Yes.
Eric Rand,
Yes. Next up, 4.4, Business Services, Addendum to Long-Term Lease Agreement between LHUSD Number 1 and Arizona State University.
Mr. President, members of the board, the current lease agreement is set to expire on June 30th, 2022. If approved, the addendum will continue the lease for an additional 5-year term pursuant to Article 3, Paragraph 3.2. Also included in the addendum is the authorization of construction of Lake Havasu City bus stop improvements, as described in Section E, Item 2, and depicted in Exhibit A. The tenant will cause the city to assume responsibility for the condition, operation, repair, replacement, maintenance, and management of the bus stop improvements during the renewal term. All remaining terms and conditions of the agreement dated January 20th, 2012 will remain in full force and effect. A copy of the original lease and option agreement was electronically provided to the board prior to the meeting, and this addendum has been reviewed and approved by legal counsel.
Discussion.
So we're the landlord, they're the tenant, so they are responsible for all of any sort of improvement or if it maintenance.
It just
Yeah.
it just keeps going with the same terms as it was before.
Correct. This is a second amendment. This is an additional amendment, a renewal, and then what was added to this in coordination with the city as well as ASU was this bus stop addition.
Yeah, it's amazing what has to be done to approve a bus stop. through these agreements.
I move that we approve 4.4 as presented.
I'll second.
John Maston,
Yes.
Arjana Alliar,
Yes.
Kyle Niederman,
Yes.
Lisa Roman,
Yes.
Eric Moran,
Yes. 4.5, Business Services, Resolution 2223, and borrowing request to Wells Fargo Bank.
Mr. President, members of the board, the Mojave County Treasurer has requested the governing board approve and sign a borrowing request to Wells Fargo Bank for a line of credit in the amount of $1 million. The district does not anticipate the need to borrow funds from Wells Fargo. However, this paperwork must be in place in case it becomes necessary. Also attaches a resolution of the board authorizing the borrowing request, and this item has been reviewed by the district's legal counsel.
Discussion.
This is something that we've done before, correct?
We do this every year, just in case we need to have a line of credit.
And if we needed to use it, it would come back before the board, correct?
I move to approve 4.5.
I'll second that.
Arjana Alliar,
Yes.
Kyle Niederman,
Yes.
Lisa Roman,
Yes.
John Maston,
Yes.
Eric Moran,
Yes. I don't believe we have any announcements here, so I will go right to item number 6. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I move we adjourn.
I'll second.
Arjana Alliar,
Yes.
Kyle Niederman,
Yes.
Lisa Roman,
Yes.
John Maston,
Yes.
Eric Moran.
Yes, we are adjourned.